probably not going to beat them with this particular Lakers team with what he has. But all the ancillary parts that come along with being a Laker is what attracted him to it. And he got more and more focused on it over the last few weeks. He's been opening this window for the last 3 years as he and his close friends and his business partners moved to Los Angeles. Within the last 3 years, Maverick Carter, his business manager, Rich Paul, his agent, and he himself have bought homes here. So he's been opening this door for a while, and the time was right for him to come through it. And what I would say to Cavs fans, Scott, is that the 2016 championship was a glorious moment. I think they should hang on and embrace it and realize what kind of, seminal, thing that happened for that city, and that they should be thinking about that tonight. I know it's in the past, but that doesn't make it any less special. And I think that LeBron knows that this will be his last act. He didn't really plan on this, but he did give Cleveland what he promised, and now he's going to try to do something special here in L.A.
You're a basketball guy. I wonder if you've done what me and Steve and our whole group's been doing tonight. We're looking at the Lakers as currently constructed as a puzzle, and I'm trying to figure out what these pieces make, because it feels like they got a lot of the same pieces, and I don't know what it currently makes.
Well, Lakers are going to get an A because they got LeBron James in their offseason.
Sure.
But in my opinion, they overpaid for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. In my opinion, they overpaid for Lance Stevenson. I don't know who was bidding at that level. And Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, none of them are great three-point shooters. Caldwell-Pope is okay. Now, he's a good defensive player. He's a guy that you want with LeBron. But you need shooting around him. And Lance Stevenson shot 29% from three-point range last year. And Julius Randle, who they still have on the board to potentially keep, not an outside shooter. So they're going to need to assemble a team around him that can make an outside shot. That's the design of the entire team, of what we know about being LeBron. You got to have outside shooting. So I'm a little bit loath to judge them because they are in the middle of putting this puzzle together. But they're following transactions that they have. They kind of need some guys who can put it in from the outside.
All right. One last programming note for you I realize you have stuff to do, but whatever you do, watch the rest of the show, because you ran your mouth and lipped off at me last night, and we got some stuff for you in the golf, all right?
I did it out of love, Scott, and I just want to make your show better, and I hopefully was able to do that.
Well, I love you, which is why we got your boy in the highlight, all right? I know you had a great week, so I just want you to know you talk, I listen. Thank you.
700 grand.
There you,
700 grand he made today.
Big week.
LeBron made 150. He made 700 grand. It's 150 million, 700 grand. It's not bad.
She just put it in a pile with the rest. Just put it with the rest. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you, man.
I've been on TV all night, and I got no overtime.
All right, stop talking. All right, still to come. Rachel Nichols, host of The Jump, with reaction to this. Bobby Marks as well, a guy that's as good as anybody we've got at helping us understand how the math adds up or does not. And what else have we got? Well, there's a lot going on. I said it was quite a candidate. Getting swept by Golden State. They competed, could have won / should have won at least one game, but didn't win 1 or 3. Game 4, they got smoked, and that's how it ends in Cleveland. Rachel Nichols, host of The Jump. That's always must watch, and you all have been having a blast with this free agency as we have here. And obviously Monday, I believe Kobe will be joining. I don't know if that's in stone yet, but we'll see. Your reaction and the reaction from people around the league to LeBron to LA has been what?
Well, it's so interesting, right? Because the past few days, one of the big storylines about the Lakers have been, ooh, they better go trade for Kawhi because we don't know if Paul George is coming, and LeBron, he doesn't want to come if there's not another big star. He can come with him. And part of that, by the way, is a piggyback on this idea that if LeBron was going to leave Cleveland, part of the reason he would be leaving, right, is the perception that he'd be trying to win a championship somewhere else, that he thinks that place he would be going to, he'd have a better shot at winning the title than he did with the roster he had in Cleveland. And it's funny, as those ideas surfaced over the recent days, I got a lot of pushback from the guys in the LeBron group saying, wait a minute, that may be what the Lakers and Spurs think, that Kawhi is an intrinsic part of this deal, but that's not what LeBron thinks. LeBron is his own guy. He's making this choice on his own terms. And his thinking going into this is kind of threefold here, Scott. One issue is whether the Lakers have the championship team right now when he walks in the door. He has faith in Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss that they can build around him. And he will have a voice, by the way, in how they build around him. And we saw that with the length of contract that he signed. A 4-year deal, last year as a player option. He never signed that long a deal when he returned to the Cavaliers this last time. That shows a faith in the organization. They can build that championship team. Another phase of this is his family. You know, he talked for the last year about, hey, my family's going to be a big part of this. A lot of people assumed, oh, the family's going to want to stay in Cleveland. His wife, Savannah, also from Akron, Ohio. Kids have grown up there. Well, guess what? They have a house here in Los Angeles. In fact, they have 2 homes. They're moving from one to the other. And there are great basketball opportunities for LeBron James Jr. here in Southern California. We heard the rumors a week or two ago from Gary Payton that Bronny would play for Sierra Canyon High School. Guess who plays for Sierra Canyon High School? Scottie Pippen Jr. plays for Sierra Canyon. Kenyon Martin Jr. plays for Sierra Canyon. We have Scottie Pippen on the jump all the time, Scott, and he wouldn't knock down that Gary Payton rumor. He said, can't knock it down. So we had that as a little bit of a clue. And then the third idea with LeBron's thinking here is this idea of, hey, going to play for a franchise like the Los Angeles Lakers. The prestige there, the idea that he could come there and build something. And it is fascinating that after all of this, quote, ring-chasing super team sort of experience the NBA has had in recent years, it started with Miami and the Heat and the way they put that squad together and Kevin Durant going to the Warriors. We had Paul George say, I want to stay in Oklahoma City, even if this isn't a slam dunk to win a title. Right. We have LeBron saying, I'm willing to go to the Lakers by myself. It's a different era in the NBA.
Rachel, this is someone you know very well, and I have made this comment the last couple of nights, very, very far removed. I don't know the man well at all outside of shooting a commercial and having him on occasion here on the show. I sense that there's this clarity that comes from being above the fray, from being above the concern about how you're perceived and what people on our show and your show and morning shows say about him, and being a father and seeing the world through the eyes of Bronny and his boys and his children, his daughter as well. You know him. Do you sense that there's clarity where there wasn't before as it relates to making a decision about where he's going to play?
Absolutely. There's no question about that, Scott. And the fact that this is going to be a transition phase of his career. He is signing to be in Los Angeles, in effect, from the age of, he's turning 34 at the end of this year to a time where he'd be turning 38 years old. That is clearly the end of his NBA career, and then maybe last a little bit longer if he wants to play in the same league as LeBron James Jr. We'll get to that. But the idea that he knows he's not going to be the best player in the NBA forever, that could have been decided for him if he had stayed in Cleveland. Maybe he would have been knocked out of those finals appearances in the East. He's taking control of that narrative now. He knows by going to the Lakers, probably won't make the finals this coming year. That streak is going to end. But that streak is ending on his terms, his way. That is very interesting to me, and yet another thing LeBron has been able to pull off in this crazy career he's had.
And I'm sure you'll be sitting down face-to-face with him. It won't be hard to track down. He's right there in the same town as you. We look forward to hearing that conversation when it comes to it, and we appreciate the chat as always tonight. Look forward to watching you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
You got it. That's Rachel Nichols. So what kind of impact are you talking about when LeBron James joins your squad? Well, as a rookie, we were talking about a kid, but he was a kid that helped Cleveland win 35 after they were 17-65 the season before. He goes to South Beach, took the talents there, of course, led the Heat to the NBA Finals after they were 58-24, an 11-win improvement over the Miami team that lost in round one of the playoffs the year before. When he went back to Cleveland, they improved by 20 wins over the record before. And am I supposed to go over there to join Bobby? Oh. Well, I'm going to walk over here. Bobby Marks is here. Sorry, I would have put... See, I'm going to let you guys in on a little TV secret. You got places to put your microphones, and I would have done this far more elegantly if I knew I was going to be standing up here letting you all get the full inventory of your guy here. See, it's a little sloppy. Yeah, we look alike enough. Okay, so everybody out there that's just saying, hey, go get Kawhi, and that's fun to say on Twitter because you can just say anything. How hard is it going to be for the Lakers to bring somebody of that caliber in salary-wise?
Extremely hard, and we can walk you through.
Please do.
Right now, the Lakers are at $47.6 million. This is before all the transactions today, and we are leaving Luol Deng's $18 million on the cap. We are not stretching it over over 5 years to reduce his number. We are leaving Julius Randle's $12.4 million there. And when we put James over, we slide him in. That goes down to $12.8 million. So you've got a little bit of a room. They agreed to sign Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, $12 million for 1 year. When we put KCP in, we had him projected at $9 million. Okay. So we got a little bit of a bump there. We put KCP in. That leaves you at $1.7 million in room. What they're going to do is they're going to use that room first. They've got a couple second rounders. Svi Mihalik from Kansas, who they drafted, they're going to probably sign him to using a little bit of that room. Now here's the thing. Now you agree to a term with Lance Stevenson, right, the 4.4 room mid-level exception. We can put Lance in here. We had him projected at $1.5 million.
Okay.
So he is getting the $4.5 million room mid-level here.
Born ready, Steve.
Always.
Okay, so now we're in the red.
Now we're in the red, but you can use the room mid-level and exceed the cap. That is part of the rule. You don't have to be under the cap to use that. Now we're going to add
JaVale McGee.
Now we're going to add JaVale McGee to the minimum. You can use the minimum exception. JaVale McGee, $1.5 million. You can use it and exceed the cap. And now this is your Laker team right now. LeBron, Luol Deng, Julius Randle still on the roster. And
when you were with us earlier tonight and you were talking me through this and you were explaining how if they were going to deal with the Spurs, right, and they could have moved a couple of firsts and some attractive pieces, but that can't be done now. Why?
It's going to be extremely difficult. Never say never, but this is going to be a hard path. Luol Deng, that's non-negotiable for San Antonio unless you want to throw in 3 first-round picks, and I don't think the Lakers are willing to do that. Julius Randle, you have that hold there. That is counting against the cap. And when you look at it, when we scroll through here, you have Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Mo Wagner, who you just signed. You can't trade him for 30 days.
Kuzma be very attractive, had a great rookie season.
Josh Hart. You can combine all those, and that gets you to $18 million. But you basically have to clear out all your young players here.
So you have to get rid of everybody.
You got to get rid of everybody because you are not a team under the cap right now.
And you'd have to do the same thing to get Boogie Cousins.
Boogie Cousins is unrealistic.
Okay, so everybody out there that's saying that's what you want to do, you can't do it. So you're going to have to find a different path.
You will.
Okay, or wait till next summer.
Well, when you have a max salary slot.
There you go. All right. See? Bobby, thank you.